Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. Go to f2bbs.com. www.f2bbs.com. The last bastion of free speech on the interweb. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury on the ArchieLuxury channel. Quick wristwatch check. Rolex. Guys. I want to talk dreams. Mercedes-Benz dreams. You know, I gotta tell you guys, ever since I was a kid in grade 5, 6, 7, I wanted a Mercedes-Benz. So I was in grade 7, 1983, and the Mercedes-Benz at the time was the W123s. That was the E-Class. And you had the S-Class, W126. And I gotta tell you, the W123 just on the verge, the cusp. Actually, I was in year 7, 1984. That went into a W124. Anyhow, I'm telling you the story. In my day, when I was a kid, a Mercedes-Benz was something I really wanted. I remember going to the Gold Coast, and they used to have people selling tickets that often have a W123 on a trailer. This is a Mercedes-Benz you could own. And I remember my granddad, he always wanted a diesel. He always wanted a diesel car. And I thought, wow, maybe getting a 300D, that's the 5-cylinder Mercedes W123, would be a dream to have. And the whole point of getting a Mercedes-Benz was because it was a quality, solid car. But you basically, if you looked after your Mercedes-Benz, it would last a lifetime. They were a quality thing. You bought quality. It was a lot more expensive than a normal car, granted, but it lasted. It lasted. And I've got to tell you something. The internet has destroyed my fantasies. There's a great channel. I'll put a link in the corner. There's a great guy from Canada. His channel is called Exotic Car Play Place, and I think it's Mark from Exotic Car Play Place. Really cool guy, Canadian. Really loves his Mercedes-Benz, loves his BMWs. I believe he's even got a Jaguar. Now that's punishment. But he makes a lot of great videos talking about Mercedes-Benz reliability, and he is somebody who loves his European luxury cars. He's just done a video which he put on there the 11th of February. What's that, a couple of weeks ago. It's already got 35,000 views, which is amazing for a smaller YouTube channel. He says I'll put a link. These Mercedes engines won't last 100,000 miles. 100,000 miles in kilometers, what's that, 160,000 kilometers? What? That can't be the end game for an engine, can it? And then he starts talking about first engine he mentions, which has been an aspirational. I mean, I remember as a kid, when I was in high school, I had a poster of a W124. They had a special cheaper version. Instead of it being a 300E, it was a 280E. 260E. It had a smaller engine. I thought, you want a Mercedes, you really got to get the 6-cylinder engine, the straight 6. He's destroyed the fantasy. He talks about the M272 and the M273. That's the V6 and V8 engine, the V6 engine. he basically says it's got some serious problems with it. Not only that, he talks about in one of the components, they use a plastic bit that breaks, and it's $1,000 for that unit. $1,000. I mean, if I love my 6-cylinder Mercedes. My good friend Murray, he had an E320 that was featured in some of the intros I did years ago. That was actually the straight 6 3.2 litre. He got it just before they changed the V6, which was actually, that motor is actually a good motor. So, I mean, he's come on there and he said avoid the M272. The M272, that's a 350. Anything with a 350 in it, like an SL 350, an E350, it's Cactus Maximus. And that's my fantasy. The V6, a 6-cylinder Mercedes-Benz was my dream. Then you think, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. Diesel. My granddad, when I was a kid, his dream was to have a Holden Gemini diesel. So let me put that into American speak. Chevette diesel. He thought that would be, they were about the same price as a Commodore, which was a mid-sized sedan petrol. They had a diesel Gemini, which was, I remember they were $10,000, which was a lot of money for a little pissy car. And they had diesel, mind you. They couldn't take the skin of a rice pudding, but hey, that was the fantasy. We go on to the next engine that Exotic Car Play Place talks about. It's the M651 engine. That's the 4-cylinder diesel. He talks about problems with it, and you think, oh my God, that's the diesel done. Because I wouldn't mind a little 4-cylinder turbo diesel. You know, that'd be quite peppy in a Benz. And then he goes on. He starts the last engine he talks about is the Glamourpuss, the AMG 63 engine. You know, the big I think it's a 6.2 litre, but you see it on cars, E63, S63, C63. It's that big AMG motor, that big. He said that's got troubles. And I got to be totally honest with you. Why the hell does Mercedes-Benz produce such garbage? Absolute garbage. I've loved my Benzes. I'm 49 this year. I'm 48 now, 49 in October. I wanted a Mercedes-Benz to see me into my 60s. I wanted to buy one in my early 50s and keep it until my mid-60s. I wanted a Mercedes-Benz. I love Mercedes-Benz. I remember as a kid watching Sale of the Century with Tony Barber. And they started off, they had Mercedes-Benzes, and they were W123s. I wanted a W123 so badly. And they've just become garbage. I mean, Mercedes did a number of things. They went into bed with Chrysler, Daimler Chrysler. Oh my God, that's the American automaker. What a disaster. Chrysler quality went up, Benz quality went through the floor. If you look at the Circle headlight E-classes, they were the W210s. I'll just double check that. Mercedes W210. Let's have a look. W210. Yep, that was the E-class of the Circle headlights. I remember when they came out in the mid-90s. I thought they were amazing. I would have done anything to have a E230. I loved them. I loved them. They had an E240, the 6-cylinder. That's what I wanted, the small 6. Man, they were plagued with some problems. Mercedes-Benz had this thing called a biodegradable wiring loom. So basically what the Mercedes-Benz did is the wiring loom itself, the plastic that coated the wires, it would biodegrade. Obviously they thought, well, it'll last so many years, and then the plastic just all falls off. Now the only problem is that can short out, cause electrical fires, electrical problems, gremlins. Oh my God, it's an absolute mess. Mercedes-Benz, what were you thinking? Biodegradable wiring loom. Where's my loom? That's what I want to ask you. And I gotta tell you guys, I gotta tell you, Mercedes-Benz, what the hell went wrong? From the 70s and 80s, man, I gotta tell you, they were the greatest. You know, I mean, you had Rolls-Royce, but they were obscure British things. Mercedes, Jaguar, that was the joke of the auto industry. But Mercedes, they were German built quality. And then, you know, I don't understand this. So much plastic. The Daimler Chrysler, they had the bio. So then you had the Daimler Chrysler partnership, which was a disaster. You had the paint. They used this really crappy paint, which it was a water-based paints because they're moving away from. I can't believe it. Then you had biodegradable wiring looms. Why? I want my loom. Where's my loom? My room. And then you had horror stories. Then let me tell you what else went wrong. The whole world decided they wanted SUVs. So where do they make these things? The ML, the X5. Where do they make the BMW X5, Mercedes ML? They had the Mercedes G class. They had the big German G class. That was a German thing. But the MLs, they were made in America in the South. They got tax concessions. The quality, absolute garbage. They were garbage. Actually, there's a great video that Hoovie's garage, he bought a GLE 350. And I dreamed of having a GLE 350. My God. Garbage. Absolutely garbage. And, you know, you want quality, you buy Toyota, the Land Cruiser, the Prados. Those are quality. Mercedes-Benz is garbage. Absolute garbage. Garbage. That's all you can say. I don't know what it is with Mercedes-Benz. I loved Mercedes-Benz. I always loved Mercedes-Benzes. And they were at a time, you bought a Mercedes, they were a quality vehicle. They really were quality. They lasted. They were amazing. Unfortunately, that is no longer the case. That is no longer the case. Mercedes-Benz, yeah, they're very cool when they're under lease, like 3 or 4 years. You'll get 5 years out of a Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, sure. But they're not long. They're not what they used to be. I mean, the reality is, I'm not sure any car is that quality. If you want a quality car, you buy a Lexus or a Toyota. And it's funny, I got a friend of mine, plastic, he's got an X5. He said trim bits are falling off. Yeah, when it's under warranty, they fix it for you. But they shouldn't have broken or fallen off in the first place. Everything is done so cheap and nasty. This is the problem. Mercedes-Benz, when are you going to stop making absolute rubbish? Absolute garbage. I mean, if you want quality, you buy Lexus. You buy Lexus. That's if you want a luxury quality Lexus. You want affordable. You want quality. You buy Toyota. I'd love a Camry, a Corolla, 4-wheel drive. You wouldn't touch. You wouldn't touch a Mercedes-Benz. They are garbage, garbage, garbage. And it disappoints me. I love the brand. I've always loved Mercedes-Benzes. I love them. I love them. And they're basically disposable rubbish. That's what they are. And it makes me really sad because I loved Mercedes-Benz. And why are they rubbish? I don't know why. It's just how this world has gone. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next one. Mercedes-Benz, when are you going to make decent cars again? Hi, guys, ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey guys, Archie Luxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Patek's came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.